Senator Tom Cotton. Senator Cotton, good morning to you. Good to talk to you in Arkansas or D.C. this week.
Good morning, Hugh. It's good to talk to you in Arkansas, of course. Enjoying the nice, pleasant weather. I know the soft people like you are out in California.
I'm in D.C. melting. I'm in the District of Columbia melting. So I have two questions for you today. First of all, I know you were a member of the old guard. You served with men who died in battle and women who died in battle, and you received their remains as part of the old guard. How do you talk to Gold Star families, even when they're critical of you? What's the advice to the Trump campaign?
Well, I would suggest that every American speak to Gold Star families tenderly and with respect and even love. There's almost 7,000 Gold Star families from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're a diverse group, and they deserve our respect and they deserve to be heard. That doesn't necessarily mean that they agree on every question. Some, like the Collins, obviously support Hillary Clinton. Others support Donald Trump and Republicans. But they certainly deserve to be heard because no one has given a greater sacrifice than have they and their sons and daughters to defend our freedoms. And I would tell Donald Trump that he should focus on what's going to keep this country safe, which in my opinion is Republican plans for our national security and our foreign policy and intelligence policy, for the very reason that we don't want to have to create more Gold Star families in the future. We want to be able to deter war from happening in the first place while keeping this country safe.
Now, now I want to switch to the subject of Libya. United States fighter jets, I believe operating from carriers, but perhaps from Italy, struck many targets in ISIS enclaves in Libya. That's new. At least it's new to me. What do you make of that, and do you approve of the president? I don't know if he consulted with Congress beforehand, but it is War Powers Act time.
Unfortunately, Libya is now the home of the most capable and advanced ISIS cell outside of Raqqa itself. That's according to the public testimony of John Brennan, the director of the CIA, and it's a reminder of just what a catastrophe President Obama and Hillary Clinton's Libya policy was. We're 5 years now into the aftermath of their ill-advised, hasty, slapdash intervention into Libya in 2011 that toppled Gaddafi, something that Secretary of State Bob Gates felt so strongly about that he has written he would have resigned from his position if he hadn't already announced his impending retirement at the time. And this is a good point that I was making previously, Hugh, is that Donald Trump should be reminding the American people about Hillary Clinton's record of extremely poor judgment on our national security and the threat that it poses. But now 5 years later, we're having to conduct airstrikes against very capable ISIS cells in Libya.
Do you think that airstrikes are sufficient to the day in Libya, along with the UN-recognized Libyan government forces, however organized or disorganized they may be?
They haven't been yet, and I have my questions about whether they will be. In Libya, we have a country that's right next to Egypt, and Egypt obviously has a very capable military, and they have an interest in not seeing an ISIS state grow to their west on their border. And in fact, under President al-Sisi, Egypt has conducted its own strikes in Libya. So if there needs to be a ground effort in Libya, you would hope that it would come primarily from Arab states, particularly Egypt, that they might require some support and assistance from the United States and from NATO and our superior capabilities, such as our aerial capabilities, logistics, or intelligence, and so forth.
Now, Senator Khan, I want to talk about SCIFs, Sensitive Compartmented Information Facilities. I know that as a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee, you have to leave your office and go to those to examine documents. A lot of people are now arguing, in response to my argument yesterday that Hillary Clinton is compromised, that it doesn't matter, the Russians have everything anyway. What's your response to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, Hugh, the Intelligence Committee's entire space is a SCIF, where you don't take cell phones, you don't take iPads, you don't even take Fitbits. And Michael Morrell, the former deputy director of the CIA, has testified that he thinks that Russia and similar nation-state adversaries have collected almost everything on unsecure servers. And this is a point that you and I have made repeatedly. Hillary Clinton's judgment is not just badly disqualified for creating that unsecure server in her home that carried classified information, but she truly is compromised going forward. She cannot know for sure, nor can anyone know for sure exactly what Russia or other adversaries may or may not have collected from that server or from any other unclassified server. and therefore what might be used against her or against some of her senior aides that would presumably follow her into the White House should she win this election. I think that's a very risky proposition for the American people and for our national security.
Now, it was told to me yesterday that Jake Sullivan will almost certainly be her national security advisor should she win. Do you think Jake Sullivan can get a security clearance?
It's a real question whether Jake Sullivan, Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin, and some of Hillary Clinton's other senior White House or senior State Department advisors could get a security clearance going through the traditional background checks based merely on what we know from the publicly released emails that they sent and received from Secretary Clinton on that server. The extreme carelessness, as Director Comey said, that she and her aides displayed in handling classified information calls into question their ability to handle it in the future.
But can they, very quickly, Senator Cotton, can the president just override those rules and say, give them clearances, they're my people?
Well, the president shouldn't do that, even if the president can't do that.
Senator Tom Cotton, always good to talk to you. Enjoy the cool breezes of Arkansas while we work here in the District of Columbia. I'll be right back, America. Hour number 3 of the Hugh Hewitt Show, straight ahead.